Some days Doctor Who hits a little too close to home. Welcome to the Time Treadmill. I'm Ron, and these are my sweaty thoughts about Doctor Who. I've mentioned before that these long stories tend to sag a bit in the middle, and at 7 episodes, the Silurians is in great risk of doing exactly that. And so, in order to shore up the story and to give it some more running time, a new subplot is introduced in the 5th episode, and it's one that hits just a little bit close to home right now. You see, the Silurians decide to attack the humans not through normal military means, but instead by the release of a pandemic. They release a bacterial plague out into the human population. First, the plague is isolated to within the scientific base, but then one singular politician leaves the base to return to London to report to his superiors and brings the plague with him. And therein follows a lengthy sequence in which this bureaucrat returns to London by train, travels through a major transit center infecting multiple people, takes a taxi from the transit hub to another part of London, exits the taxi, and staggers around the streets of London, visibly ill, while back at the transit center, multiple people begin collapsing from this plague, the pandemic spreading, and soon reports are in that this plague has even spread to London. All the while, back at the scientific base, the doctor races to come up with a cure, a vaccine for this plague. Now, I have to tell you, when I first watched the story a couple of years ago, that subplot seemed weird and out of place and an unnecessary padding of time. Watching it this morning, while on lockdown during a global pandemic, well, it feels just a little bit more pressing. Oddly, the only saving grace of this particular plague in Doctor Who is that it is so fast-acting and so visibly affecting that although it spreads like wildfire, it's easily contained and quarantined and prevented from going global. Unlike the COVID-19 pandemic, in which a person can be infected for upwards of 14 days before becoming visibly ill and be infectious that entire time. Way back when, with stories like this, or stories like Contagion or Outbreak, where the plague is immediately evident, I used to think that was horrifying. Now, I think it's a little bit quaint. The real horror is a pandemic which can linger silently for weeks on end and somehow have large swaths of the population complacent, thinking they're safe and that this is no worse than the flu. And this is why I say to you every single day, stay home. Stay safe, be kind, be patient. I'll see you tomorrow.